Most people think they know what Iceland looks like: waterfalls, glaciers, northern lights. But beyond the famous Golden Circle are places you've probably never seen, and maybe never even heard of: canyons where blue rivers flow through black columns, beaches where ice diamonds wash ashore, and hot rivers where you can bathe surrounded by mountains. This is the real Iceland, the one beyond tour buses, where volcanic craters glow with turquoise lakes, where plane wrecks rust on black sand beaches, and where nature's raw power hasn't been tamed for tourists. From hidden waterfalls to secret hot springs, from glacial lagoons to volcanic landscapes that feel like other planets, we're about to discover the Iceland most travelers never find. Have you ever wondered what lies beyond the tourist trail? If you're ready to explore the Iceland guidebook's myths, hit that subscribe button and join Hidden Travel Gems as we journey through a land of fire and ice, where every turn reveals something extraordinary. Before we begin, here are some facts that might surprise you. Iceland sits on the mid-Atlantic ridge, where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates are slowly pulling apart. The island has over 130 volcanoes, 30 of which are active. Iceland has no forests. The Vikings cut them down upon arrival, and they never recovered. The country has no mosquitoes or reptiles. Icelanders read more books per capita than any other nation. Over 60% of Icelanders live in the Reykjavik capital region, leaving vast areas virtually uninhabited. Iceland's parliament, the Althing, founded in 930 AD, is the world's oldest existing parliament. The country runs almost entirely on renewable energy, 85% geothermal and hydroelectric. And Iceland has more waterfalls per square kilometer than anywhere on Earth. This is a land still being created, where the Earth breathes steam and where nature writes the rules. It's Seljalandsfoss's hidden neighbor, and almost no one visits. This is Kvörnefoss, a 30-meter waterfall tucked in a gorge, just a short walk from the famous Seljalandsfoss. While crowds gather at Seljalandsfoss, Kvörnefoss waits in silence. The approach follows a small river through a narrow canyon, walls closing in as you walk. Then suddenly, the waterfall appears, cascading from the cliff into a small pool. Like Seljalandsfoss, you can walk behind Kvörnefoss, entering a cave carved by millennia of water. The view from behind is magical. Water falling in a curtain, the gorge visible through the veil. The walls are moss-covered, impossibly green against black rock. The mist soaks everything. Few tourists make the 15-minute walk from the parking area, leaving Kvörnefoss peaceful. It's a secret hiding in plain sight, proof that Iceland's best experiences often require walking away from the crowds. Would you skip the famous waterfall to find the hidden one? It's a waterfall framed by nature's architecture. This is Aldeyjarfoss in Iceland's northern highlands, where glacial water drops 20 meters into a canyon lined with black basalt columns. The columns are geometric perfection, hexagonal pillars formed when lava cooled slowly, creating natural sculptures that look designed. The waterfall crashes white against black rock, foam churning in the pool below above. The landscape is barren, typical highland desert of volcanic rock and sparse vegetation. The contrast is striking. Elegant columns surrounding raw power. Jarfoss requires a rough 4x4 road to reach, keeping casual tourists away. The drive takes about 45 minutes from the ring road, bone-rattling but manageable. At the waterfall, you can walk to the edge, feeling spray and hearing the thunder. The basalt columns continue downstream, creating a canyon worthy of exploration. Jarfoss is remote, dramatic, and entirely worth the rough road. Have you ever seen nature create perfect geometry? It's Iceland's oldest swimming pool, and it's heated by a mountain. This is Seljavalalaug, built in 1923. A small geothermal pool fed by hot springs trickling down the cliff face behind it. The pool sits in a valley beneath Eyjafjallajökull, the volcano that erupted in 2010, grounding flights across Europe. To reach it, you hike 15 minutes from the parking area. Following a river through the valley, mountains rise on both sides. The pool appears suddenly. A simple concrete rectangle against the mountainside, turquoise water steaming in cold air. The water temperature hovers around 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, cooler than most hot springs but warm enough to be comfortable. There are no facilities, no attendants, just a small changing room. The pool is maintained by volunteers and heated entirely by nature. Bathing here, mountains towering above, feels primal. It's Iceland before tourism, when people simply built pools where hot water emerged. Would you soak in a century-old pool heated by a volcano? It's a canyon that shouldn't be this beautiful. This is Fjadraglufur, a serpentine gorge carved by a glacial river over 9,000 years. The canyon is 2 kilometers long and up to 100 meters deep, its walls curving in elegant S-shapes. The Fjadra River flows through the bottom, cascading over small waterfalls. A trail follows the canyon rim, offering views down into the chasm. The rock is columnar basalt, moss-covered in places, creating green patches against brown and gray. The canyon became famous after Justin Bieber filmed a music video here in 2015, causing such a surge in visitors that authorities closed it temporarily to prevent damage. It has since reopened with designated paths. The views are constantly changing as the canyon curves. Each bend reveals new shapes, new angles. The canyon was formed during the last ice age, when glacial floods carved through the bedrock. Standing at its edge, you see time made visible, water's patient power cutting through stone. Can you imagine 9,000 years of water flowing? It's a fishing village at the edge of the world. This is Arnarstapi on the Snæfellsnes Peninsula, where the Snæfellsjökull glacier rises inland and the Atlantic crashes against volcanic cliffs. The village is tiny, just a few houses, but the coastal walk to neighboring Helnar is spectacular. The cliffs are honeycombed with caves and arches carved by waves, gatkletter, a natural arch, frames the ocean perfectly. The basalt formations twist into impossible shapes. Bird life is abundant. Arctic terns, fulmars, and puffins nest on the cliffs. A stone statue of Bardur Snæfellsás, a half-troll settler from Icelandic sagas, overlooks the harbor. The statue is massive, weathered, fitting the landscape's wildness. The coastal trail between Arnarstapi and Helnar takes an hour, passing lava fields, rock formations, and viewpoints where waves explode against cliffs. The area feels ancient, powerful, indifferent to humans. Would you walk cliffs where trolls supposedly lived? It's where glaciers go to die, and it's hauntingly beautiful. This is Jökulsárlón, a glacial lagoon where icebergs calve from Breiðamerkurjökull Glacier and float toward the sea. The lagoon is deep, over 250 meters in places, filled with turquoise water and icebergs in every shade of blue and white. Some icebergs are pristine white. Others are striped with black volcanic ash. The oldest ice is electric blue, compressed over centuries. The icebergs drift slowly. Shaped by wind and current, seals swim between them, hunting fish. Boat tours navigate around the ice, getting close enough to touch icebergs thousands of years old. The lagoon formed only in the 1930s as the glacier retreated, and it's expanding as climate change accelerates melting. What you see today will be different next year. The lagoon is temporary, a moment in geological time. Standing here, watching ice that fell as snow before civilization began, you understand impermanence? Have you ever touched ice older than history? It's Europe's most powerful waterfall, and the ground shakes beneath your feet. This is Dettifoss in Vatnajökull National Park, where the glacial Jökulsá á Fjöllum River drops 45 meters, releasing 193 cubic meters per second on average during floods. It peaks at 500 cubic meters per second. The sound is deafening. The spray visible from kilometers away. Two viewpoints offer different perspectives. The east bank is accessed by paved road, easy and crowded. The west bank requires a rough gravel road, but brings you closer to the waterfall's edge. Standing there, you feel the power vibrating through rock. The water is gray with glacial sediment, tumbling in a massive curtain. Rainbows form in the mist, Dettifoss featured in Ridley Scott's Prometheus. The opening scene where the engineer dissolves into the waterfall. The filmmakers chose Dettifoss because it looks primordial, like Earth before humans. They weren't wrong. This is raw power, nature at its most violent and beautiful. Would you stand at the edge where the earth trembles? It's where ice becomes jewelry. This is Diamond Beach, the black sand shore where icebergs from Jökulsárlón wash up and glitter in the sun. The icebergs float from the lagoon through a short channel to the sea. Waves break them into smaller pieces and deposit them on the beach. The result is surreal. Chunks of crystal clear ice scattered across black sand like diamonds on velvet. The ice comes in all sizes, from car-sized bergs to fist-sized fragments. Some are perfectly clear, others glow blue. The waves sculpt them constantly, polishing surfaces smooth. The contrast is stunning. transparent ice against black sand, white foam against dark water. Photographers love golden hour here when the low sun illuminates the ice from behind, making it glow. The beach changes constantly. Icebergs that were here this morning have melted or been carried away by afternoon. It's ephemeral beauty, temporary art created and destroyed by nature. Have you ever seen a beach made of ice and volcanic sand? It's the waterfall you can walk behind. This is Seljalandsfoss, dropping 60 meters from cliffs that once marked Iceland's coastline. As the land rose and the sea retreated, the cliffs remained, creating waterfalls cascading from their edges. Seljalandsfoss is special because a path leads behind it, carved by erosion. Walking behind a waterfall feels otherworldly. The water falls in a curtain before you, mist soaking everything. The cave behind is shallow, but wide enough to walk through. Looking out through falling water, the landscape appears watery and distorted. The roar is constant. In winter, ice forms behind the falls, creating blue ice caves. In summer, wildflowers bloom on the surrounding cliffs. Seljalandsfoss is famous, appearing in guidebooks and Instagram feeds constantly. It's crowded, often touristy, but the experience of standing behind falling water transcends crowds. Some views are popular for good reason. Would you let popularity stop you from walking behind a waterfall? It's where two continents drift apart. This is Thingvellir, where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates separate at 2 centimeters per year. The Rift Valley is visible, parallel cliffs with a plain between them. The Almannagjá Gorge is the western wall, the North American plate. You can walk through the rift, literally stepping between continents. Thingvellir is also where Iceland's parliament, the Althing, was founded in 930 AD. Making it one of democracy's birthplaces, Vikings gathered here to make laws and settle disputes. Thingvallavatn, Iceland's largest lake, fills the valley. Silfra Fissure, a crack between plates filled with glacial meltwater, offers the world's clearest water for diving. Visibility exceeds 100 meters. You can touch both plates simultaneously. Thingvellir is geology, history, and natural beauty combined. It's part of the Golden Circle, Iceland's most popular route, so it's crowded, but the significance remains. You're standing where Earth pulls itself apart. Can you feel the continents moving? It's a promontory shaped like a door. This is Dyrhólaey, Iceland's southernmost point, where black cliffs rise 120 meters from the Atlantic. The name means Door Hole Island, referring to the massive arch carved through the rock by waves. The arch is large enough for small boats to sail through. From the lighthouse atop Dyrhólaey, views extend along the coast. Reynisfjara's Black Beach to the east, Mýrdalsjökull Glacier inland, and endless ocean to the south. Puffins nest here by thousands from May to August, their burrows honeycombing the cliff tops. They're comically tame, allowing close approach. The black sand beaches below curve in perfect arcs. The waves are powerful, dangerous, part of the treacherous south coast. Dyrhólaey was once an island, but is now connected to the mainland. The area closes during puffin nesting season to protect the birds. Standing atop the cliffs, wind howling, ocean roaring below, you feel Iceland's isolation. Have you ever stood at land's end watching waves arrive from nowhere? Before we continue exploring Iceland's hidden gems, if you're discovering places you never knew existed, make sure you're subscribed to Hidden Travel Gems. We're revealing the world's most extraordinary destinations that others overlook, showing you the real experiences beyond tourist traps. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an adventure. Drop a comment telling us which Icelandic location has surprised you most so far. Now, let's continue discovering the Iceland that guidebooks miss. It's Iceland's second tallest waterfall, and it requires adventure to reach. This is Glimmer, dropping 198 meters down a narrow canyon in Hvalfjörður. The hike takes 3 to 4 hours round trip, crossing a river via log or wading, climbing steep trails, and navigating rocky terrain. The trail climbs high above the river, offering views down into the canyon where Glimmer falls. At one point, you walk through Thvatahellir Cave, cold and dripping, carved by water. The waterfall is only fully visible from certain angles. From above, you see it plunge into the canyon. From below, you see the full drop. The effort required keeps crowds away. Glimmer isn't drive-up accessible. It demands hiking boots, river crossing, and determination. But reaching it feels earned. The canyon is narrow, walls closing in. The waterfall thundering unseen until you're upon it. Iceland's second tallest waterfall is also one of its least visited. Would you cross a river and climb a mountain to see a waterfall? It's a volcano you can climb inside. This is Grabrock, a 3,000-year-old crater cone in West Iceland. Wooden stairs climb the cone's exterior to the rim, making it accessible for most fitness levels. The climb takes 15 minutes, rising 170 meters. At the top, you walk around the rim, looking into the crater and across the lava field that formed during its eruption. The crater is bowl-shaped, surprisingly small, vegetation covered. The rim trail is narrow in places, dropping off steeply on both sides. Views extend across the Norðurardalur Valley, other craters visible nearby Grabrókarfell and Grabrókarfellsmali. Two smaller craters sit adjacent. The lava field, Grabrókarhraun, is partially forested. Unusual for Iceland, Grabrók isn't famous or dramatic, but it's accessible, safe, and offers the experience of standing inside a volcanic crater without technical climbing. It's also rarely crowded. Would you climb a volcano just to look inside it? It's the Golden Waterfall, and it almost didn't survive. This is Gullfoss, a two-tiered waterfall on the Vita River, part of the Golden Circle. The river drops 11 meters, turns 90 degrees, then drops another 21 meters into a narrow canyon. On sunny days, spray creates rainbows, giving the falls their golden name. In winter, ice forms along the edges, creating frozen sculptures. Gullfoss pumps 140 cubic meters per second on average, more during floods. In the early 20th century, Foreign investors wanted to dam Gullfoss for hydroelectric power. Sigridur Tómasdóttir, a farmer's daughter, fought the plan, threatening to throw herself into the falls if construction began. Her efforts helped establish environmental protection in Iceland. Today, Gullfoss remains free-flowing, a national treasure. Viewing platforms bring you close to the spray. The canyon below is narrow, water disappearing into the earth. Gullfoss is crowded, Golden Circle famous, but its power justifies the popularity. Have you ever stood close enough to a waterfall to feel its wind? It's Iceland's most photographed mountain. This is Kirkjufell, a 463-meter peak. On the Snæfellsnes Peninsula, shaped like a church, hence its name, Church Mountain. The mountain's distinctive profile makes it recognizable instantly. Steep-sided, pointed, standing alone near the coast. It appeared in Game of Thrones as the Arrowhead Mountain beyond the wall Kirkjufellsfoss. A small waterfall sits in the foreground of the classic photo composition. At sunset, the mountain glows golden, its reflection doubling in the stream. In winter, northern lights often dance above it, creating images that go viral. The mountain can be climbed, though the route is steep and requires experience. Most visitors photograph from the marked viewpoint. Kirkjufell is popular, often crowded, especially at sunset. Tour buses stop here. Photographers line up. But the mountain's beauty is undeniable. Sometimes things become famous because they deserve it. Kirkjufell is photogenic for a reason. It's beautiful from every angle. Would you wait in line for the perfect photo? It's a volcanic wonderland. This is Lake Mývatn in North Iceland. Surrounded by lava fields, craters, hot springs, and bizarre rock formations. The lake itself is shallow, averaging only 2.5 meters deep, created by a volcanic eruption 2,300 years ago. Mývatn means Midge Lake, named for the swarms of midges that hatch here in summer. They're annoying but harmless, food for the lake's abundant bird life. Around the lake, volcanic features create diverse landscapes. Dimmaborgir is a lava field of twisted formations, caves, and pillars. Hverfjall is a 2,500-year-old Tifra crater, perfectly circular. Námafjallverur is a geothermal area where mud pots bubble and steam vents hiss. The earth is orange, yellow, and sulfur-scented. Greyotagja cave has a hot spring inside, made famous in Game of Thrones. Mývatn nature baths offer blue milky water heated geothermally, a less crowded alternative to Blue Lagoon. The diversity around Mývatn is extraordinary. Volcanic activity creating constant change. Have you ever bathed in geothermal water under the midnight sun? It's the world's northernmost capital. This is Reykjavik, home to 2/3 of Iceland's population, but still feeling like a small town. Hallgrímskirkja Church dominates the skyline. Its design inspired by basalt columns, rising 74.5 meters. The view from its tower shows the entire city, mountains beyond, ocean to the west. Harpa Concert Hall, a modern glass building on the harbor, glows with LED lights changing colors. The Old Town features colorful houses, independent shops, and cozy cafes. Museums tell Iceland's history, Viking settlement, and literary tradition. The food scene is surprisingly excellent. Chefs using local ingredients creatively. Reykjavik is expensive, famously so, but it's also safe, walkable, and charming. Hot dogs from Beijerin's Bestu are a beloved cheap meal. The harbor area features whale-watching tours and puffin cruises. Reykjavik is where most Iceland journeys begin. It's tempting to rush toward nature, but the city deserves time. It's small enough to see in a day, but interesting enough to justify more. Would you spend time in the city or rush to wilderness? It's the world's most dangerous beach, and the most beautiful. This is Reynisfjara, a black sand beach near Vik, where basalt columns rise like organ pipes and sea stacks stand offshore. The beach is stunning, black sand stretching wide, hexagonal columns forming caves, and Reynisdrangar sea stacks visible through the waves. According to legend, the stacks are trolls who were caught by sunlight and turned to stone while dragging a ship ashore. The reality is volcanic. Basalt columns formed when lava cooled. The danger is real. Sneaker waves kill tourists regularly. The waves are unpredictable, surging far up the beach without warning, pulling people into the freezing Atlantic signs worn in multiple languages. Yet tourists still turn their backs to take photos. Reynisfjara is breathtaking but deadly. Respect the ocean, watch the waves. Never turn your back. The beach's beauty shouldn't distract from its danger. Nature this dramatic doesn't forgive mistakes. Would you risk sneaker waves for the perfect photo? It's a nature reserve within a national park. This is Skaftafell in Vatnajökull National Park, an oasis of forest between glaciers and black sand plains. Skaftafell offers hiking trails to multiple destinations. Svartifoss waterfall is the most popular, black basalt columns framing the falls like a cathedral. The hike takes an hour round trip through birch forest. Sjónarnipa viewpoint offers panoramic views of Vatnajökull Glacier and outwash plains. Longer trails lead to Morsarjökull Glacier and Kristinartindar peaks. Skaftafell is unusual for Iceland. It's sheltered, warmer, and has more vegetation than surrounding areas. The combination of forest, glacier, waterfall, and mountain creates diverse landscapes in a compact area. In summer, Skaftafell is popular. Parking fills quickly. In winter, trails remain accessible but require care in ice. The area was a farm until the 1960s. Inhabited for centuries despite glacial outburst floods. Today it's wilderness, though still showing human traces. Can you imagine farming beneath a glacier? They're pseudo-craters, and they're everywhere. This is Skútustaðagígar, around Lake Mývatn, where dozens of circular craters dot the landscape. They're not volcanic in the traditional sense. They formed when lava flowed over wetlands 2,300 years ago. Water beneath the lava turned to steam instantly. exploding through the cooling crust and creating craters. The result is a surreal landscape. Dozens of circular mounds with bowl-shaped tops, grass-covered, scattered across the area. A walking path winds through them, allowing you to climb inside craters and walk the rims. Each crater is different, some deep, some shallow, some perfect circles, others irregular. The area feels otherworldly, like walking through the moon, yet it's gentle, accessible, safe. Sheep graze between craters. Birds nest on the rims. Skutustadagiger shows volcanic power creating beauty rather than destruction. The name translates to Scooty's Farm Craters, named for the farm that once operated here. Have you ever walked through dozens of explosion craters? It's a Douglas DC-3 on a black beach, and it's been there since 1973. This is the Solheimasandur plane wreck, a U.S. Navy aircraft that crash-landed after running out of fuel. All crew survived. The plane was abandoned, left to rust on the black sand desert. For decades, it sat isolated. Then Instagram discovered it. The wreck became iconic. White metal against black sand, mountains behind, hauntingly photogenic. Visitors flocked. The walk from the ring road is 4 kilometers each way across flat sand. About 2 hours round trip, no shade, no facilities, just black sand and wind. The plane is a shell, stripped of useful parts, covered in graffiti, but it's photogenic. The wreck symbolizes isolation, abandonment, nature reclaiming human machinery. Controversy exists about visiting. Does walking 8 kilometers validate it? Or is it disaster tourism? The plane wasn't meant to be an attraction, yet it's become one. Would you walk 2 hours across black sand to see a plane wreck? It's framed by basalt columns. This is Svartifoss, the Black Falls, where water drops 20 meters surrounded by dark hexagonal columns. The columns inspired architects designing Hallgrímskirkja Church and Harpa Concert Hall. The waterfall is in Skaftafell, requiring a 1.5-kilometer uphill hike from the parking area. The trail climbs through birch forest, eventually emerging at the waterfall. The columns are striking, perfectly geometric, black against white water. They formed when lava cooled slowly, creating the hexagonal pattern repeated across Iceland. At Svartifoss, they're particularly well-defined and numerous. The waterfall itself isn't Iceland's largest or most powerful, but the setting is extraordinary. The columns create a natural amphitheater. The falls thunder into a pool surrounded by fallen columns, creating natural seats. Svartifoss is popular, the trail busy in summer, but the short hike filters casual tourists. And standing before those columns, you understand why basalt became Iceland's architectural inspiration. Would you climb a mountain to see nature's architecture? It's Europe's largest glacier. This is Vatnajökull, covering 8% of Iceland with ice up to 1,000 meters thick. The glacier is so massive it creates its own weather. Beneath it, active volcanoes hide, occasionally erupting and causing glacial outburst floods. Öræfajökull, Iceland's highest peak at 2,110 meters, rises from Vatnajökull. Multiple outlet glaciers flow from the ice cap. Breiðamerkurjökull feeds Jökull Sarlon. Svínafeldsjökull is accessible for ice climbing. Falljökull offers glacier hiking tours. The glacier is shrinking rapidly. Comparing photos from decades ago shows dramatic retreat. Ice caves form in winter, accessible by superjeep. The caves glow blue. Ice compressed so densely, it absorbs all colors except blue. Walking on Vatnajökull requires guides, crampons, and respect crevasses hide beneath snow. But glacier hiking offers unique perspective, standing atop ice kilometers thick. Feeling the frozen power beneath Vatnajökull is melting. Future generations may not see it. Would you walk on a glacier before it disappears? It's Iceland's most popular route. This is the Golden Circle, connecting Thingvellir, Geysir, and Gullfoss in a loop from Reykjavik. It's popular because it's accessible. Paved roads, short distances, big-ticket sites. Thingvellir offers continental drift and historical significance. Geysir gives its name to all geysers worldwide. Though it rarely erupts now, Strokkur, beside it, erupts every 5 to 10 minutes, shooting water 20 meters high. Gullfoss provides waterfall drama. The circuit takes 4 to 6 hours. Less if rushed tour companies run it constantly. Independent travelers do it in rental cars. The Golden Circle is crowded, commercialized, sometimes criticized as touristy. But there's a reason it's popular. The sights are genuinely impressive and conveniently close. Many visitors see only the Golden Circle, missing Iceland's real treasures. But for those with limited time, it delivers highlights efficiently. The question is, do you want convenient highlights or undiscovered gems? Can both be valuable? It's volcanic chaos at the airport's doorstep. This is Reykjanes Peninsula, where most visitors land but few explore. The landscape is moon-like, lava fields, geothermal areas, and volcanic craters. Bridge between continents marks where the North American and Eurasian plates separate. You can walk across a bridge spanning the rift. Gunuvur is a geothermal area with massive steam vents. Mud pools boil. The ground is orange from sulfur. Reykjanesviti Lighthouse, Iceland's oldest, stands on cliffs where waves crash violently. Recent volcanic eruptions in Fagradalsfjall and Sundanukur created lava fields still steaming. Some eruptions were accessible, allowing people to hike near active lava. The landscapes are barren, harsh, beautiful in their starkness. Reykjanes feels alien. Volcanic power obvious everywhere. Yet it's minutes from the airport, largely ignored as visitors rush toward more famous sites. The peninsula deserves time. It's where Iceland's volcanic nature is most visible. Would you explore the alien landscape near the airport? It's Iceland's most colorful wilderness. This is Landmannalaugar, a geothermal area in the highlands where rhyolite mountains glow in impossible colors: yellow, pink, green, blue, and purple. The colors come from different minerals oxidizing. Iron creates red. Sulfur creates yellow. Copper creates green. The landscape looks painted. Laugahrón lava field, formed around 1480, surrounds the area. Dark rocks contrasting with colored mountains. Hot springs allow bathing. Warm water emerging from the ground. The most popular pool sits between lava and mountains. Water temperatures, perfect. Hiking trails range from short walks to multi-day treks. Laugavegur Trail, Iceland's most famous hike, starts here, connecting to Thorsmörk, over 55 kilometers. The area is remote, accessible only in summer by 4x4 or bus on F-roads. The highlands are empty, vast, and stunning. Landmannalaugar is unique even in Iceland. Nowhere else combines colors, lava, and hot springs. This dramatically, would you bathe in a hot spring surrounded by rainbow mountains? It's a hidden canyon with waterfalls. This is Múlaglufur Canyon in southeast Iceland, carved by the Múlavísl River. The canyon is deep and narrow, multiple waterfalls cascading down its walls. Múlafoss and Hangandifoss are the most prominent, dropping from cliffs into the canyon. The hike to the canyon rim requires off-road driving and then walking across volcanic plains. Navigation is tricky without GPS, but reaching the edge, you're rewarded with views into a chasm that few people see. The canyon walls are layered rock, different volcanic eruptions stacked over millennia. Moss clings to surfaces. Waterfalls appear from nowhere. The canyon feels primordial, hidden, untouched. There's no marked trail, no signs, no facilities. It's Iceland for adventurers willing to navigate uncertainty. The remoteness keeps crowds away. Múlaglufur is a reward for those willing to work for it. Would you navigate unmarked terrain to find a hidden canyon? It's Jökulsárlón's quieter sibling. This is Fjalsárlón, a glacial lagoon where icebergs calve from Fjalsjökull Glacier and float in turquoise water. The lagoon is smaller than Jökulsárlón, but less crowded, offering similar beauty with more solitude. The glacier reaches close to the lagoon's edge, its blue ice face visible across the water. Boat tours navigate between icebergs, getting close to the glacier. The water is glacial meltwater, cold and clouded with rock flour, giving it that characteristic blue-green color. The icebergs are sculpted by melting, creating arches, caves, and abstract shapes. Some are striped with volcanic ash layers. The lagoon formed as the glacier retreated, expanding yearly as climate change accelerates melting. Fjalsárlón is 10 minutes from Jökulsárlón, but receives a fraction of the visitors. The views are equally stunning, the experience more peaceful. Sometimes the best alternative is the one overlooked. Would you choose the famous lagoon or the quiet one? It's a black sand beach with a mountain backdrop. This is Valnes in East Iceland, where black sand curves beneath Eystrahorn Mountain. The mountain is distinctive, sharp peaks rising directly from the coast. The beach is wild, driftwood scattered across sand, waves crashing, wind constant. Seals sometimes haul out on rocks offshore. The reserve protects nesting birds in summer. An old lighthouse, painted orange, adds color to the landscape. The light is magical here, especially during golden hour when low sun illuminates the mountain's craggy face. In winter, northern lights dance above the peaks. Valnes is off the main tourist route, requiring a detour from the ring road. But that detour reveals East Iceland's rugged beauty. empty beaches, dramatic mountains, and solitude. The reserve is small, easily seen in 30 minutes. But those who stop remember it. Sometimes the best places are the ones you weren't looking for. Would you detour for a beach you'd never heard of? They're twin waterfalls side by side. This is Hyfoss, Iceland's fourth tallest waterfall at 122 meters, with Granny Waterfall beside it at 101 meters. Both drop into Fossardalur Valley from the same cliff. The access road is rough, requiring 4x4 and river crossings. The 32-kilometer drive takes over an hour. At the parking area, a short walk brings you to the canyon rim, where both falls are visible. The drop is dizzying. The falls pound into the river far below. The valley is narrow, walls steep, vegetation clinging wherever it can. In summer, rainbows form in the spray. In winter, the falls partially freeze, ice formations growing beside flowing water. Few tourists make the difficult journey, keeping Hyfoss relatively unknown despite being one of Iceland's tallest waterfalls. The effort required to reach it is part of the experience. These falls aren't easy, but they're spectacular. Would you drive an hour on rough roads to see waterfalls most people skip? It's a waterfall split by rocks. This is Hjalparfoss, where the Fossa River divides around basalt pillars, creating twin cascades that rejoin below. The falls aren't tall, maybe 10 meters, but they're beautifully composed. The basalt columns create natural architecture. The water splits and merges in elegant patterns. A viewing platform offers close views without difficult hiking. Hjalparfoss is near the Sprengisandur highland route, accessible by paved road. It's often combined with Hyfoss in a day trip. The area around the falls is peaceful. Grass, moss, and the constant sound of falling water. The name translates to Help Falls, supposedly named because travelers crossing the highlands found relief reaching the river. Today, help means different things, but the falls still provide respite. A beautiful, accessible stop that doesn't demand hours of hiking. Sometimes simple beauty is enough. Hjalparfoss doesn't try to be dramatic. It just is. Would you appreciate understated beauty as much as dramatic spectacle? It's a volcanic crater filled with water. This is Kerid, one of several crater lakes in Iceland's western volcanic zone. The crater is 55 meters deep, 170 meters wide, with steep red and black walls descending to a turquoise lake. The colors are striking. Volcanic rock in shades of red from iron, black from basalt, and the water's blue-green from minerals. A path descends to the lake's edge. Another circles the rim, offering different perspectives. The crater formed around 3,000 years ago when a magma chamber emptied and collapsed. The water level fluctuates with the groundwater table. Kerid is part of the Golden Circle route, making it easily accessible and often crowded. But the crater's beauty justifies popularity. Walking the rim takes 10 minutes, descending to the lake another 10. The experience is brief, but memorable. The crater has hosted concerts, including Björk performing on a floating raft. Would you listen to music in a volcanic crater? It's Iceland's bluest canyon. This is Studlagill, where basalt columns line a canyon filled with glacial meltwater in an impossible shade of turquoise. The canyon remained hidden until 2007, when a hydroelectric dam upstream reduced water flow, revealing the columns. Before that, the river ran too high and turbulent to see them. Now, the Jökulsá á Brú River flows calmly, its glacial meltwater the source of the incredible blue color. The basalt columns are perfectly hexagonal, stacked like honeycomb walls. The canyon is narrow, deep, dramatic. Two viewpoints offer different perspectives. The east bank is a short walk from the parking area. The west bank requires longer hiking, but brings you to the canyon floor. Studlagill is remote, in East Iceland, far from main tourist routes. But word has spread, and visitors now come specifically for this canyon. The blue water, black columns, and relative recency of discovery make it feel like finding something new in a well-explored land. Can you discover what was always there but just revealed? It's Dettifoss's neighbor. This is Selfoss, just upstream from Europe's most powerful waterfall. While crowds gather at Dettifoss, fewer walk the extra kilometer to Selfoss. The waterfall is horseshoe-shaped, water flowing over the entire curve in a wide curtain. It's not as tall as Dettifoss, only 10 meters, but it's broader and more elegant. The water is glacial gray, the rock dark, the contrast stark. Rainbows form in the spray. The approach follows the canyon rim, offering views of the river's power. Selfoss receives less attention because it sits in Dettifoss's shadow. But many visitors prefer it. More approachable, less overwhelming, beautiful in a gentler way. The two waterfalls together show different aspects of the same river. Dettifoss is raw power. Selfoss is graceful strength. Both are worth seeing, but Selfoss proves that second place can be equally beautiful. Would you walk the extra kilometer when everyone else stops? It's a perfect circle of volcanic ash. This is Hverfjall, a tephra crater formed 2,500 years ago in a single explosive eruption. The crater is nearly perfectly circular, 1 kilometer in diameter with walls rising 140 meters. Two trails lead to the rim, one steep and direct, the other longer but gentler. The rim is narrow, dropping away inside to the flat crater floor and outside to the surrounding lava field. Walking the rim takes about an hour, offering 360-degree views. Lake Mývatn to the west, mountains to the east, lava fields all around. The crater floor is barren, flat, empty. Nothing grows there. The walls are loose ash and scoria, black and crumbly. Hverfjall looks like a textbook volcano, symmetrical and imposing. Standing on the rim, wind howling, you feel volcanic power made visible. The crater won't erupt again. It was a one-time event. But its form remains, a monument to a single day of creation. Would you walk the rim of an ancient volcano? It's a crater filled with milky blue water. This is Viti, or Hell, a Mar crater formed during Krafla's eruption in 1724. The crater is 320 meters in diameter, with steep walls descending to the water. The lake's color is turquoise from dissolved minerals. The water is geothermal, warm near the shore, allowing swimming, though it's not particularly comfortable. The crater sits in Krafla's caldera, surrounded by geothermal activity, fumaroles venting steam, mud pots bubbling, the earth restless. A path circles the crater rim, offering views into the lake and across the volcanic landscape. The area smells of sulfur. The ground is warm underfoot. Colors are vivid: blue water, red earth, yellow sulfur deposits, black lava. The Krafla power station harnesses geothermal energy nearby, drilling deep to tap the heat. VT shows both sides: natural beauty and industrial utility. The same forces that create dramatic landscapes also provide renewable energy. Can beauty and function coexist? VT suggests they can. Would you swim in a volcanic crater? It's a river you can bathe in. This is Reykjadalur, or Steam Valley, where a geothermal river flows warm enough for bathing. The hike from the parking area takes 3.5 kilometers. Climbing gradually through the valley, steam rises from vents along the trail. Mud pots bubble. The valley lives up to its name. After about an hour, you reach the river. Wooden platforms provide changing areas. The river continues upstream, getting progressively warmer. You choose your temperature by wading to the right spot. Too cold here, perfect there. Too hot further up. Sitting in the warm river, cold air on your face, mountains surrounding you, feels surreal. It's nature's hot tub. Free, no facilities, just a warm river in a valley. The hike keeps casual tourists away, but those who make the effort are rewarded with one of Iceland's most unique bathing experiences. Reykjadalur is popular among locals, less known to tourists, and bathing in a naturally warm river is quintessentially Icelandic. Would you hike an hour to bathe in a geothermal river? There's the viewpoint over Thorsmörk. This is Valahnukur, a rocky outcrop offering panoramic views across Thorsmörk Valley. The hike from Langidalur campsite takes an hour. Climbing 200 meters, the trail is steep, rocky, sometimes requiring hand-over-hand scrambling. But the summit provides 360-degree views. 3 glaciers, Eyjafjallajökull, Mýrdalsjökull, and Tindfjallajökull, multiple rivers, and the green Thorsmörk Valley. The valley is named for Thor, the Norse god of thunder. The area is remote, accessible only by 4x4 or bus, requiring multiple river crossings. But it's a hiking paradise. Trails, glaciers, valleys, and solitude. Valahnukur is the best viewpoint, offering context for the entire region. The wind at the summit is often ferocious. The view's worth every gust. Thorsmörk is where the Laugavegur Trail ends. Hikers arrive exhausted and exhilarated. Standing atop Valahnukur, you understand why? You're surrounded by Iceland's dramatic heart. Would you scramble up rocks for a view over 3 glaciers? It's a 15-meter rock shaped like a dragon. This is Víðsárkur in northwest Iceland, a basalt stack rising from the sea. Its base eroded by waves into arches that look like legs. Legend says Víðsárkur is a troll who forgot to return home before sunrise and was turned to stone. The rock is home to seabirds whose droppings whiten the top, giving it the name White Shirt. The stack can be seen from cliffs above, or reached by a path descending to the beach. At low tide, you can walk around it, seeing the arches and erosion up close. Seals often haul out on nearby rocks. The area is remote, part of the Vatnsnes Peninsula, far from major tourist routes. The drive to Hvitserkur follows gravel roads through empty landscapes. But the isolation is part of the appeal. You might be alone with the dragon. The northwest gets few visitors compared to the south, yet it offers beauty equal to anywhere. Would you drive hours on gravel roads to see a rock shaped like a dragon? It's a mountain range on fire. This is Kerlingarfjöll, a geothermal area in the highlands where rhyolite mountains create a landscape of red, yellow, and orange. The mountains are glaciated, snow and ice contrasting with volcanic colors. Hot springs, fumaroles, and steam vents dot the area. One trail, Veridalir, leads through the geothermal zone where boiling water emerges from the ground, flowing in steaming creeks. The earth is orange from sulfur and iron. Mud bubbles, steam hisses. The trail crosses streams on wooden bridges, the water below too hot to touch. The mountains rise around the valley, their colors painted by minerals. Rhyolite in reds and yellows, basalt in black. Kerlingarfjöll is accessible only in summer by 4x4 on F roads. The remoteness keeps it special. A mountain hut provides accommodation, but most visitors come for the day. Hiking trails lead to glaciers, hot springs, and mountain peaks. Kerlingarfjöll combines everything Icelandic: fire and ice, color and starkness, beauty and remoteness. Would you venture into the highlands to see mountains painted by volcanism? From hidden waterfalls to secret hot springs, from black sand beaches to glacial lagoons. The real Iceland isn't on tour buses or Golden Circle routes. It's in the places that require effort, patience, and curiosity. Where you might drive an hour on gravel roads to see a single waterfall. Where you hike through rain to reach a canyon few have seen. Where you wade through geothermal rivers surrounded by steaming valleys. Iceland rewards those who venture beyond the obvious. If this journey revealed an Iceland you never knew existed, subscribe to Hidden Travel Gems right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Comment below. Which hidden gem will you seek out first? And remember, the best destinations are the ones you discover yourself. The ones that aren't in every guidebook. The ones that require leaving the highway. Because the real Iceland isn't easy. But it's extraordinary. Discover the world. Explore the hidden. See you in the next adventure.